Okay, today we are going to study release strategy in MM. So, in release strategy, we have certain areas to be configured that includes characteristics, and characteristics are defined in classes. And then, of course, the next configuration for release procedure and steps are defined. So, what are characteristics? These are created as attributes. Now, what are attributes for what? Basically, when we are dealing with purchase order, we have a document, we have material groups, and purchase order can be of various types that is dictated by document types. Now, document types for for purchasing raw material, or for purchasing services, or if we are purchasing from a company or from a person, or is it being procured internally or externally from government, or I mean, these are scenarios. Now, these scenarios are defined and variated using document types. Now, the when we have a certain business scenario, for example, we are buying raw material or a service or anything. Let's stick to raw material from a certain group of local vendors. Now, that is a specific business process. For that, we will assign and we will decide on a document type that will be used specifically. So that document type will then be used for release strategy. Now, release strategy is basically when a certain purchase amount exceeds a certain limit in terms of value. It has to go through an approval process for releasing, and releasing will mandate approvals from various hierarchies in the company. For example, an officer, and above him the assistant manager, and above him the manager, then the director and the vice president. That's how it will build up as an when the value builds up for us for any certain purchase order. Now, as an example, we have SECO. Now, SECO is basically a structure in SAP, which is mandated by ABAP. Now, SECO is a family, and in that family, we have a member, which is document type, and SECO, again, it's a family, and it will have a member called material group. So based on these features, specs, document type, and material group, the combination of these two will shape up our release strategy. We'll run the transaction CT04, and we should have this screen. Okay, release strategy, edit characteristic. Okay, now we have the same description that will add the number of characters. Of course, this will need a certain level of approval. Will go with the data type for this order type. Okay, and let's create one. Okay, RS doc type 1, enter, valid from, now this has a validity as well, 2025, already exists. Okay, order type purchasing, released, data type is character, number of characters will be 4, and this will be used in configuring our release strategy. Value assignment will be single approval will be needed at every level. Enter a characteristic name and click on the create button. We've already done that. Okay, as displayed below in additional tab. Now, additional tab, additional data for reference to a table field, mention the field name as displayed below, same as mentioned in the SECO structure. Okay, now what is that? We'll go for SECO BS Art. BS Art is already assigned. Not ready for input, not ready for input. And next part is restrictions, which is a release strategy. It is a release strategy. Click on the value tab. Now, values tab, mention value PO doc type. Standard is NB document type. Now, this is not being shown here. Okay, characteristic value. SPRO. Using purchase order document types. Now, these are the document types we are speaking of. Okay, we have dummy purchase order, framework order, standard PO. Standard PO is interval that will start with 10. And then we have number range interval that will be the purchase order will have the number range 45. Number range for external assignment if we are assigning an external number. Okay. And the update group, this is by default field selection. Of course, we can choose what fields to be shown, what to be hidden, and what to be made obligatory. Okay. So these are some of the checks, and we are keeping all of it. Document type is, of course, NB, and everything will be standard. Allowed item categories. Now, these categories can be used for this purchase order to purchase these scenarios like consignment, subcontracting, for third party, for service, everything. Every scenario can be used through this document type NB. Purchase requisition, we can attach PR document type as well, so it becomes a workflow. And this is the purchase requisition NB. It's the same, so it's a standard serial number profiles. So there are no serial number profiles. Anyways, so this is the setup of the document types. It's important to understand. And release procedure, as we are going through that, we are encountering this values thing. But anyways, let's save it. Is changed. What we can do is make a new one. This document type or a type purchasing data type character for single value additional data. Let's do one thing. Values. Okay, over here we can add the value before going for additional description, and the values will be 032 release strategy, additional data, SECO BS art, document not ready for input, and descriptions. Delete the allows values first. Okay, so we'll just save it. That has been saved. Okay, going ahead. Values, document type NB. Restrictions, Okay. Descriptions 032, release strategy, save. It has been changed. Okay, document type is in values. Now, characteristics. Now, this is the characteristics CH characteristics for material group. Okay, we'll create one article one. Okay, description material group and data type character 9. Single value, single value. Class needs to be created to club all the characteristics as created above for the PO release strategy. Okay, so we'll save it. This has been saved. So we have RS doc type 2 and character material group 1. So what we'll do is copy RS doc type 2, copy. Okay, now these are our characteristics. Okay, these are our characteristics. Next is, of course, class needs to be created. Run transaction CL02, CL02. This is for class. Class type is 032, and we will give a description for the class. Okay. Rel PO class type 032. Okay. Enter. Okay, release strategy characteristics that we have created just right now. Okay, rel PO is already created, so we'll just cancel it. We'll create another one from the start. Rel PO 1, new. Okay. Release strategy class. Document order type and material group. Characteristics. Okay, the characteristics that we just created a while back, we'll create that and we'll mention it. Enter. Okay. We've already entered this. Material management, purchasing, purchase order, release procedure, define release procedure for purchase orders. Now we'll save this. Now this is saved. Okay. RLP1 already created. So strategy class. This has been created. So this is our class. Okay. Now let's go for this path. Purchase or release procedure for purchase orders, define release procedures. Here's orders. Define release procedure for purchase order. Okay. So we have release groups, codes, indicators, strategies, and workflow. First, select release group. Release group. Opt new entries and provide description name as of the release group. In our case, it is AS. Choose class and provide description as below. The class is already made. Okay. And release strategy AA42. We'll delete this for now. Release group. AS class. Class was description. Release strategy was net. Save. What was our company code? Can I
It
remember?
was SDQT.
SDQT. Okay. Okay. Now this is done. This is the class with the characteristics for material group and document type. Till here it's clear. Then the release codes. Release codes. Second, release codes. Choose release codes and the below screen will appear. Okay, now we have AS 10, 20, and 30. This is the levels of the approvers, buyer, manager, head of purchasing. Workflow 1. Release codes against a release group. Here we have entered 1020. 1020A, 20 is equal to B as below. Opted workflow is 1. Role resolution of the group code and plant. Now this is a combination. Workflow is basically this. One has in the background the combination of group, code, and plant. Now it can be purchasing group or material group. Can be purchasing group also. Code and plant. Save it. Okay, now it's already saved. It's already saved. Material group is AS. Release codes against that AS is already defined with 3 people. Release indicator. Okay, 1021 AS. Third, select release indicators. Choose release indicators. Below screen will appear, which is this. Enter release ID. Release ID is BGR. Over here at this level, we have release ID 01. Okay, let's delete all of this. Delete. New entries. New entries is 0. Is not released. Changeable. Value change. Description not released 1. This is a release status. Changeable 6. Changeable new release if new start your value changes. Okay. Value change is nothing and we have released. Okay. This is done. Release group. Okay. Fourth, select release strategies. Release strategies. Over here, opt is release groups, which is optional, but is already assigned the release strategy RP. Now, what is this coming from? Release strategy window. Entry deleted. New entries group AS release strategy. What was our release strategy? Okay, release strategy is release group and Z1. PO release strategy 10, 20, buyer and manager. Let's keep it till 2 right now. As below, now click on release prerequisites. Okay, in prerequisites over here, for 10, of course, 20's approval will be needed. For buyer, the manager's approval will be needed. For 20, there is no need for 10's approval. Continue. Okay. As below, now click on release statuses. Release statuses. Okay. The purchase order is made. It's not released at any level. It's empty, but it's just made. It's not released. The purchase order is not yet made. Over here, it's made by 10, which is the buyer, but the manager has not approved it. It's not released. And now, in the third level, third strategy, it's already made, passed, posted, and now 20 will approve it. So it is released. Okay. Click continue button. As below, now click on classification, select characteristics, classification. Okay, order type, material group, order type and material group. C1 material group. This is for every material group. It is not changeable. Order type, it is NB. Material group for all. Okay. Classification. These values are involved in the release strategy. So order type and material group will be involved. Press the back button and save it. Save. Click on workflow below. Screen will appear. Workflow. Opt release group, release code, object type, and ID. Okay, we have AS 1020 buyer manager, and this is object type. What is object type? Now, object type is user. Now, based on user, the release strategy is being used over here. Okay. Agent ID is the ID basically, the user names basically, the user that is using this portal. Okay. Now, this is how we maintain the user through SU01. SU01. This is the user. VAUSNET SAP. Change. And we have these details. Reviewer 2, reviewer 1. Okay. And these can be PO created with doc type NB and material group as in release strategy. Release strategy is triggered as below. So it will, this is how it will actually trigger. Now, let's save it. Data is already saved, and let's get to creating a PO. So this is very simple, but this is a very important element for interviews. So in purchase order, we are creating characteristics, attaching those characteristics, which is material groups, and order type, which is the document type. Combination of those two characters are clubbed in a class. Okay, AA42. and standard PO. Okay, we'll copy this and we'll create one. Vendor, company code SDQT, for Toto group, Drew packaging. We'll choose the first one. Item 10, item category, material. Now, account, assignment, it's order, item category, it's standard, material. Okay, let me just MM60, plant, SDQT, material list in this plant, execute, and we have this 200, 200, 200 PO quantity, 200. Each delivery date will be 10th of net price. One C, AED, SDQT. Okay, purchase org. Now over here we have the condition types for pricing. It has already picked up. Okay, and this amount is basically per one per 200. Okay, and purchase org. Do we have a purchase org? I guess we have a purchase org. SDQT, yes. Purchase group 001. We'll take any standard. Don't have. Okay, we'll take 000. Enter. Okay, enter a GL account. Now this is basically where we have to enter our raw material GL account. Now let's see if we have made it or not. If we have not made it, just 00. Okay, I guess STQT material accounts, raw material. Cannot be used. Okay, let's see why cannot it be used. Posted without tax allowed. Material accounts post automatically. Why? Inventory posting. Okay, we have not actually configured this debit and credit. General modification. Let's discuss this in the next class because this is again requires another set of discussion.